Hello, everyone, and welcome to the broadcast. First, before we get into the show, I want to go over a few updates here. We got a lot going on at VOSR International. And first, I want to welcome any European listeners or new listeners on our new frequency. We're being broadcast out on 15770 kilohertz. We are also still being broadcast at 9455 kilohertz, but we added a new frequency to try to get some listeners from across the pond. This is going to go out to Europe, and people on the east coast of the United States would still be able to pick up this frequency also. So you'll be able to listen on a couple frequencies at a couple different times. The 9455 kilohertz also changed the time. We did that in May. We used to broadcast at 0400 to 0500 UTC. We moved that up an hour to 0300 to 0400 UTC. We made that change because we have a couple other announcements coming up also, but it also helped with this announcement of adding another frequency. And this one will be going out on Saturdays. So the broadcast on 15770 kilohertz will be going out on Saturdays at 2300 UTC to 0000 UTC. We are starting this one out in Europe, just like I started out on the 9455. It's going to be a monthly broadcast going across to Europe, and then in between weeks there'll be a rebroadcast of that show. If we get a good response, we get some reception reports and good communication, we will go ahead and we'll add that and make it an every other week broadcast. But send in some emails, and we'll see if we can get that going. And that kind of goes into the other announcement, is that on 9455 kilohertz, we are going to be going to an every other week format. So there's going to be every other week, same time, 0300 to 0400 UTC. And we are going to every other week. And that's one of the reasons for the time change. It actually helped us open that up to be able to do an every other week show and made it easier for us. It was actually easier for WRMI too with their staffing. And it also gives us a possibility of going to a weekly broadcast. So that may be something coming on in the future. That is kind of a big commitment, but that is something that might be coming up. So we may be having weekly, but for right now we're going every other week with one rebroadcast in between that. So you'll be able to hear that. So I want to first off welcome everyone from the 15770 kilohertz broadcast. When you send in a reception report, first off, the email address is VOSRINT@yahoo.com. That's VOSRINT@yahoo.com. When you send in a reception report, if you would please put in what frequency you're listening to now. So put on either 9455 kilohertz or 15770 kilohertz. That'll help me keep them separated, and I'll be able to show where all our listeners are at that point from those emails. So that really helps a lot. So send in some communication. You can just tell me if you like the show. Tell me what you listen to. I'll ask some questions sometimes during the show, and you can go ahead and send me those answers, and we will get those on the program, and I will read them. Usually I break this show up into segments, and I always call it the communication segment. Everybody's calling it the mailbag, so it's going to be known as the mailbag from now on. Everybody definitely enjoys the mailbag section. People list what equipment they're using, what radios, what antennas, and everybody's interested in what everybody's using for equipment with shortwave. It's a fun hobby that way. So with us going to an every other week broadcast on 9455 kilohertz, and a possibility of going weekly, I want to resend out a call for anyone who wants to be a guest or do a guest segment on the program. And I know from the communication that I'm getting from listeners, lots of emails, communications on the internet. There's a lot of knowledge out there from listeners. There's a lot of knowledge that you as listeners can pass along to everybody so they can get this knowledge and expand their horizons. Try some things that you're trying that are working for you. So there's a lot of stuff you can do. And if you are interested in being a guest or doing a guest segment, send me an email. Send me an email at VOSRINT@yahoo.com. In the subject line, put down guest segment. And these guest segments can run the gamut. Just throwing out a few ideas here. You can do it on radios. You can do it on your history, how you got into shortwave, what you used to do, what you're doing now. Equipment such as antennas, headphones. So basically it runs the gamut shortwave, what you're listening to on shortwave. So there's a lot of stuff that you can do. Even beginners in the hobby can actually do a guest segment. They can say what they've got, what problems they're having, and we can have some of the listeners maybe come up with some ideas to help you out. So this can kind of run the gamut for anybody. And the segments don't have to be long. They could be from 5 minutes to 30 minutes and anything in between. It actually works out really good that way, because then when I'm putting together a show, I have different time segments, and I can plug them in and it'll make it go a little bit easier. So hopefully everybody out there will think about it, and we'll get some people come on that want to do a guest segment and help out. So again, send your emails to VOSRINT@yahoo.com. One more time, that's VOSRINT@yahoo.com. Now I want to bring up some updates we got going on with our VOSRInternational.com website to keep updated on anything that's related to VOSR. Go over to our website. I put updates in there. The best way to keep current in between shows is to check out the website. You can also sign up for the newsletter there. It's right, I think it's on every page that you can click and sign up for the newsletter. And I don't bombard you with emails on that. I only put on that'll blast an email out when there's a major change. I did one when the time changed from 0300 to 0400 UTC. I did put a blast out on that one, but I don't, every time I post, I don't send it out to everybody. So you're not going to get inundated with a bunch of useless emails. So I'll make sure of that. But go check it out. You can sign up for the newsletter. Also, other changes. I did add a Buy Me a Coffee page on there under social media. There's been a few inquiries about if listeners could help, and I was going to start up a Patreon page. I actually did, but in looking at it, that really wasn't what I was going for. And this Buy Me a Coffee seems to fit a little bit more. It's a little bit easier. You could just put in a one-time contribution of $1 or what have you. So anything in there, it makes it really simple. So you can go ahead and go check that out under the social media section on the website. Basically, my main expense here is airtime, so that's basically it. So that's what the money will be used for. But go check that out and click on the Buy Me a Coffee section if you'd like. Next is something I added, and this kind of comes from way back when I remember seeing some ham operators when I was young. They had a big map on the wall, and they would, wherever they made a communication to, they would put a push pin in there of that they contacted somebody in that country, that city, or whatever. And so I wanted to do something similar. So with the reception reports that I'm getting, so if you give me your location, I'm able to add a push pin. I'm able to add a pin, and I've got just a simple app that I'm using, and I'll put a pin in the city. If you give it as close as you give me, that's where I put the pin, and it's starting to fill up nicely. You can see we're mostly 2/3 of the U.S. is getting filled in. We definitely have some listeners from Canada, a couple from Mexico, There's a few people that even are listening with an SDR, and so they're in Europe and Central America. So we've got listeners all over, and now with adding 15770 kilohertz, we're definitely going to be adding some different pins out there. So one thing I will ask, if you are listening on a SDR or Kiwi SDR, Internet SDR, is let me know where you are located, and let me know the location of the SDR that you chose. Most people pick on the East Coast because that's something close to Okeechobee where the transmission is being sent out at. So, but let me know that, and I do put a note in there that it was an SDR. That way I can keep track of where the transmissions are being picked up at. So that'll work out great. But go ahead and check that out. I will have that. Right now I got it pinned towards the top. I think it's the first or second update on the website. That's VOSRinternational.com. I have a bunch of pictures of it, because I have the very first one is of the United States, and you could see all the pins on there, but you can't see the names or anything. So what I do is I go in and I expand it so you can see the person's name, and I'll take a couple screenshots of that and I post those pictures. So as we get more and more pins on there, I'll have to go in and expand it, and we'll have more pictures. But you'll be able to go in and check out your pin added as long as you send in an email. I also want to thank again KG7M. He sent me over what it turned out to be our new mascot. So VOSR International has a new mascot. It's you could tell me it's a rodent of some sort sitting there, and he's got a VOSR International t-shirt on. He's ready to listen to the program. So you can go over to the website and check him out. I am going to add him on to, which is my next announcement. I do have some VOSR International merchandise on there. You can go into the contents there, and you can see VOSR merch, and click on that, and there's a link there to click to, and it takes you to the store. I will be adding the mascot onto some items. I'll probably add him onto to a t-shirt and the mug. The mug is definitely the most popular item. It's actually a pretty nice mug. And one thing I want to assure everyone: when you get the mug, it's packed really well. It's really surrounded in styrofoam. Mine came all the way to Hawaii, of course, and it was in perfect condition. So you should be able to order that without any issues. But the mascot is out there. You can go check him out, and I will be putting him on some merchandise. So you'll be able to look forward to that in the future, and I will update everybody on that also. In the future, I'm probably even going to do a couple giveaways. I'll do a giveaway of a mug or something, or some type of merch. I also on my YouTube page, Wavecrest Guy, I do some evaluations. I'll get a new radio, and I'll go through that and do a review on it. Show the features, that type of thing. I'm actually going to be doing that on this VOSR International broadcast also, and we'll see how that translates and how that works on the radio. But I will be doing that too. I've got one radio that I actually it just came out, and you'll see the links on our website for the Redicus V115 radio. I'm kind of embarrassed to say that I ordered this months and months ago, and I'm just getting to it now and going through and putting it through its paces. And I usually put on some reception reports, and I'll reception videos on my YouTube channel, and I'll compare it to some of the radios I have. I try to use the same antennas or their whip antennas that are on there, so the comparison is fair. And that way you can check it out. I'll kind of go over this Redicus in a segment also, but I'll probably end up doing a giveaway on that also. I'll probably doing a giveaway on the Redicus radio when I'm finished, and that'll give the opportunity for some listener out there to get a radio, and they can check out hopefully the VOSR International program. While you're on the website, sign up for the newsletter, and that way you'll be able to keep up with everything going on. All right, now on to the program. So now we'll move on to a programming segment, And this segment is actually a follow-up segment, or a part two, from our premiere broadcast. I did a segment on WWVH on Kauai, Hawaii, the NIST broadcast. So we ended up going and having a trip over to Kauai. So I wanted to go and check out the see if I can get in or check out the NIST station. I know it was right by Barking Sands military base. I didn't know if I'd be able to get over there and be able to go in or not, but I wanted to give it a try. Now, we were staying in Kapa'a, if anybody's familiar with Kauai, and that's on the east side of the island, and we were staying at a resort, Pono Kai, and to drive all the way over to the west side, where the broadcast site is, it's a pretty good ride. It's probably about an hour. And but we were doing some golfing down in Poipu, which was a little more than halfway over to the WWVH. So after we played, we decided we're going to go ahead and take a ride out and see what we can check out. So I did a couple videos driving out there, just short ones. They're on my. I'll put a link on our website on VOSRinternational.com. I'll put a link there. I'll have them on there. You can also go to Wavecrest Guy on YouTube, and you can check them out there. They're very short. They're a couple minutes each, maybe. And basically, it's us driving out there, and we're about 10 to 15 miles away at one point. But you'll be able to check out and see the landscape there in Hawaii. There's one part was a coastal drive, so it was really scenic, and it was definitely worth a drive out there just for that. We had been out there a few times. There's Papahaku Beach out there, which is an extremely large beach in Hawaii, and we've been there before. So we've been by it, but I never really paid attention to it as we were driving by it. That wasn't our destination. So this time I made it our destination, and we took a ride out there after golf. And when we got there, I did notice the sign. There was a sign that said WWVH NIST Broadcasting, and it had the arrow to go in. As soon as I made the turn, I knew right away that we weren't going to be able to get in. It was a heavily guarded military installation right from the get-go, with barricades and everything. I had to drive up and then say what I was looking for, and then end out turning around. I was just hoping that it might have been on the outskirts of the base, or it might have been in a section of the base where I'd be able to get to, but that's not the case. On the website for WWVH, it has on there that there are no tours. But when I did when they sent me QSL information, on that information, which of course was probably older, it did say that you can go and have a tour. So that's why I wasn't positive. But I really didn't think it was going to be possible. But as long as I was there, it was definitely worth the drive out there. So I did get a picture of the sign. I'll have that posted on our website. And then we ended up driving a little bit further, not even a mile, and there was a bird sanctuary. And we turned in there, and I was able to catch the top of one of the broadcast antennas. So I ended up checking that antenna, comparing it to what is on the WWVH website, and it is the same one. And actually, from my picture, it almost looks like there's a person up there maybe doing some maintenance. So I will have that picture listed on the website too. So go over to VOSRinternational.com and check that out, and check out those couple videos if you want to see a little bit of Kauai. But so all in all, I didn't get in. It was a little bit of a failure there, but it was definitely worth the drive. I was able to snap that shot of the antenna and the sign, and it was worth it. I would definitely go that way again. There's a lot of stuff over there anyways. That whole island is a really nice island to head over. So it's a small island. There's about 70,000 people, 75,000 people on that island. But compared to Molokai, where there's only 7,000, it's actually kind of a big city. So it actually worked out really good for us, and it gave us a nice relaxing ride. So I just wanted to give that update. If you have any questions or comments about that, send us an email at VOSRINT@yahoo.com. That's VOSRINT@yahoo.com. In the subject line, just put in WWVH, and then I'll read any responses on the mailbag. And now on to a programming segment. And this is, I consider this programming segment to be really important because that's one of the things you hear most of the time when people are talking about shortwave radio, that there's not really a lot to listen to. But if you get out there and get on there at different times and try different areas, different frequencies, again, that's where maybe a WebSDR would come in handy if you're in an urban area. But if you can check different things, you'd be surprised what's out there. And there really is a lot of good programming out there. And that's what I'm going to talk about today. I just happened to stumble upon this as I was listening to shortwave and just turning the dial like I usually do. I came across OTH radio, Over the Horizon Radio. It's broadcast on WRMI, and I caught it on 5850 kilohertz. And it was later in the evening when I caught it. And I'll have the programming information towards the end of the segment here. But I just happened to catch it. They were playing some music that I remember listening to in my youth. And it's listed that it plays only classic hits from the 1960s through today. And it's a top 40 classic hit music show that plays great music and the history of these songs. So there's a mixture, a little bit of talk in there, and they do play some great music. It really is. It really turned out to be a great show. I caught it a few minutes after it started, but I ended up listening for the full hour. It was really a good show, and I have returned and been listening to this show. So I highly encourage people to check this out. And it is put out by powered by ICOM. So again, that's another big name in the hobby. One other thing to mention is that he does send out EQSL cards. So you can go over to Radio Miami's International's website and go over under programming, and you'll see a little brief synopsis for a lot of their programs there. And you'll find this one for OTH Radio. And it does have an email address in there that you can send to him. And I did that. I told him that, I just happened to catch him turning the dial. And it is OTH, and that's all capital, requests. And there are in the request is capital. And then at gmail.com. But I sent him a message. I listed the songs that I heard and some of what he was talking about through the program, so he could tell that I was definitely listening, and gave him a reception report. The reception that evening was pretty good. I was getting it in at S7 to S9. And hardly any fading, so it was coming in really nice. So it was really nice to sit there and listen to some of these really good music. Every song that he played, I knew and I enjoyed it. Now there's a few things that he's got on his for his show. He features a segment called "Once Upon a Weekend," where you'll hear a number one song from 20, 30, 40, or 50 years ago. For that weekend, and each show continues the top 3 songs of the past year according to Billboard magazine. So he's really well organized on what he puts on there, and you can really follow along through the years of what he's actually playing. He's really put a lot of thought into this show, and it, honestly, right from the get-go, when you listen to it, you'll be able to tell right away. Then on every last weekend of each month, he plays an all-request show where listeners from all around the world pick the playlist for the show. So a really nice feature. You send in a message to that email that I listed, othrequest@gmail.com, and that last weekend of the month, it's all listeners' music, which is really neat. And back to the EQSL cards, he's got 6 unique QSL cards that he sends out for each transmission beam. So if you could pick it up on one frequency and then go to another frequency and pick it up, and if you send the reception report, if you're on a different frequency on a different beam, you will get a different designed ESQL. So really unique way to handle that. And I did get mine, and it's really nice. I'll put the a picture. I'll put my QSL that I received from OTH on our website at VOSRinternational.com. I'll have it posted on there so you can check it out. It'll be under updates, and I'll have OTH on there, and you can check it out. Really neat. He also has some T-shirts that you can purchase, and he does a really good job. You can tell he's been at it for a while, and he knows what he's doing. So the show is beamed worldwide on WRMI to 5 continents, but there are 6 different EQSL cards to collect because WRMI sends the show out on 2 different frequencies to North America on Fridays and Saturdays. And this is where you can listen to them. So from Australia, New Zealand, Oceania, it's on 7780 kilohertz on Fridays at 0900 UTC. And then at the Caribbean, Central South America is on Fridays at 2100 UTC on 9955 kilohertz. And then to Europe, Africa, and the Middle East, it's on Saturdays at 1200 UTC on 15770 kilohertz. North America, it's on Fridays at 0800 UTC on 5850 kilohertz. That's the one I picked it up on. And on Saturdays at midnight Eastern on 9395 kilohertz. Definitely check them out. When I sent him the email, he answered me back. It was only a couple days, but he answered me back saying he was in the middle of a move going cross country, and so he's a little bit delayed getting back to his correspondence. And again, it was only a couple days, and I sent a couple messages to him, and I mentioned this show that I was going to do a segment on it, and he was really happy about that. But he really nice guy. Larry's his name. Check him out. Check out this program. I think you're going to enjoy it, and it's another good reason why to pull out the old shortwave radio, pull it out more often. Check it out. Shows like this go under the radar, and people don't even see them or seek them out or just happen to stumble across them. And that's the hard thing about shortwave, is trying to find what's on there. But there are some tools you can use, and I'll get into those in future segments. But this is definitely one, and hopefully this show will turn into a tool for you at VOSR International, where you can listen to some of these programming segments and check out some of these programs that are out there that I know everybody's going to enjoy. So send me an email on this at VOSRINT@yahoo.com. That's VOSRINT@yahoo.com. In the subject line, put OTH. Let me know if this is one of your favorites. Do you listen to this one regularly? Have you checked it out? Let me know if you want to check it out, if you're going to be checking it out. And when you do, send me a message on that also. And don't forget to check out the website at VOSRinternational.com. I'll have that EQSL card on there so you can check it out from OTH Radio, and hopefully you'll be able to get one for yourself. And now on to our mailbag segment. Before I start and get into that, though, I do want to mention that I do send out EQSL cards when you send in a reception report. And one of the things that I'm definitely looking for is your location in the reception report, how the signal strength is, and your equipment is great too. And so any other information you give me is just a bonus. It's just extra. Some of these reception reports get very detailed, list of time and what I've been saying, and those are great. So then I know how the broadcast is being sent out. But on my EQSL cards, one thing for sure is that I am not very good. I'm not a graphic designer by any means. And if anybody out there has that talent and wants to try to design a EQSL card for VOSR International, have at it. Go ahead and make something up. Send it in to me. And I will definitely, definitely got to be better than mine. So I'll start to use those. If I get a few of them, if a few listeners out there send me some designs, send it in to me, I'll put them on a rotation and be able to send them out that way. You can go over to VOSRinternational.com and you can pull some pictures off there if that would help, or use them for reference or whatever. One of the things, or a couple of things that I need to have on it for the file, I need to put the date of the broadcast on there, so I need to be able to change that. And then, of course, the person's name who sent in the report, I'm going to be able to have to change that and add that on there. So if you can get that information in there, come up with some designs, that would be fantastic. That would help me out. I'm a one-man show here, and I'm definitely not good at the graphic design, but I do have EQSL cards to send out through the email, and I do respond to those and get those sent out as soon as I can. So get your creative juices flowing. Take some time, take a look, and send those into VOSRINT@yahoo.com. That's VOSRINT@yahoo.com. In the subject line, put down EQSL card design. That way I can separate the email, and that'll help me out. And thanks in advance. All right, now on to the mailbag. We have Paul from Wellsboro, Pennsylvania. Used a Malahet DSP2 with a Megaloop ML30 Plus, and he put down Go Pack. He knows I'm from Wisconsin, and that was from the 418 broadcast was that response. Sometimes when I'm trying to get these shows ready to get them in the queue, I'll miss some of the rebroadcasts, and I can't get them on there. So if you don't hear your a shout out or hear yours on here, I try to get as many as I can, but just wait till the next broadcast, and hopefully I'll be able to get it on. Then off of Discord, Master Player 30 reports a plus 20 via local SDR using a SDR Play RSP1A and a MLA30 antenna, and that's from Central Louisiana. So plus 20, pretty good reception down there. Also from Reddit, Lantern Bluff. He's located over the horizon from Miami in the rolling hills of the Appalachia. He reported good reception. And his reception, sometimes he said it skips over, and sometimes over there he does not get very good reception. But this time he did. Now in the emails, Value Shortwave Listener in Boise, Idaho, listed a signal of 55555, and he was getting S9 plus 30, and he was using a JRC NRD 545 with a Wellbrook Pro Loop antenna, and he sent a detailed report, but he likes to use the over the air. He doesn't like to use the SDRs, and I'm that way too. I really prefer to use the radios and listen to them that way. But if you don't have a choice, if you can't get the program or can't get a show you want to listen to, there's no fault in hitting those SDRs if you have to. But he's got a nice setup over there, and especially to be able to pick it up that strong from Idaho, from Idaho to from Florida is really good. Then Lee from Rock Hill, South Carolina. He had some static, but he listed his reception as 55455. So again, very strong reception. And he was using an Odson DX286, and I've heard a lot of good things about those radios. I might end up grabbing one and doing a review on those and getting that on the air also. Really nice radios for the price, and it's been around a while too, and it has a loyal following. Then he also has an Eaton Elite Executive Radio with a long wire, and those I know they were. I don't know if they're being discontinued, but they were on Amazon for quite a while at a pretty good price, right around $50, and I believe they're still on eBay for around the same price. And a lot of people are reporting that they're really good and work really well radios, especially in that price point, because I know they were quite a bit more than that. They were probably at least double that when they were on regular pricing. He wanted to send a thank you for the show and get well quick with my kidney stone problem that I was having. And yes, I am definitely over that now and feeling much better. We have Jack from Jacksonville, Florida, and he reports, he goes, thanks for the great show, great radio station, great radio. He sent a link for a Kiwi SDR in case he gets bad reception. Actually, I sent him that link because he reported not getting a very good signal, so I sent him the Kiwi SDR link, and he reported that he tried it and it worked for him, so he's all ready in case he can't get it on his regular radio. And then we have Paul from, I'm probably going to mispronounce this one, but Chillicothe, Ohio. And he wanted to be added to our listeners map. So yes, I do still have that listeners map. If you send in a communication, I will try to put a pin on the map with your name on it from the location that you give me. So Paul, you can go on the map, and I'm going to try to update that every couple weeks, and then put new pictures on the website, and that'll be on VOSR International.com. I'm going to try to have it pinned down to the top, but you might have to scroll down a little bit to find it as I add updates and that type of thing. So Paul, you'll be added to the map, and anybody who wants to be added to the map, just send in a communication and give me your location, and I'll put you down as a VOSR International listener. Then we have Robert, Mountain Home, Arkansas. And he listed his reception as a 14444, and he used an ATS 25 X2 radio with a MLA 30 plus megaloop antenna that he used indoors. And that's one of the things about these loops, that they're easier to work and than a long wire, and especially for indoors. And it's something that you can take out and set up pretty easy. A long wire, when you start to get the lengths that really work, can be a little bit messy. But he's able to use it indoors, and he enjoys the show and hearing us talk about shortwave. Thanks for the comments. And then we have Bumbers. This was off Discord. He caught the show in Arizona. It started to fade and will catch the rebroadcast. And that's one good thing about the rebroadcast, especially if you don't want to use an SDR or web SDR, is that if you miss part of the show, you'll check back in the next week and see if you can pick up the rest. And that's one of the reasons why we do that. And we'll, like I said, we got some announcements coming up too. Then also we have Kainan. And he's in Wichita, and he reported good reception, and he had intensive fading at first, but that went away at the bottom of the hour during the program, and he was able to pick up the rest of the show then. Daddy Dave reported plus 30 in Missouri with some deep fading, though, so he did have a little bit of deep fading. Master Player 30 reported a plus 15 from South Central Louisiana, and the same thing with the SDR on that one. And next from Facebook, we had Han. Han reported that he loves the show. It's a great show, he says, and thank you very much for those kind words. Now go on to Radio Reference, another website that talks with shortwave radio. E.A. Frizzle reports good reception for about the first 20 minutes. Then he started to get some heavy fading, and again he's going to catch the rebroadcast to catch the other half that he missed. That was just not a good night all over for propagation. There were some areas that did report really good reception, as you hear, but then in some other areas they weren't getting very good reception, and there was a lot of fading. We have regular listener Paul from St. Catharines, Ontario. He used an SDR that was located in Washington, D.C., and he sent in a very detailed reception report. Paul is definitely a regular listener, sends me some communication often, and I really enjoy communicating with Paul. Then also we have another regular listener, Dennis, from Fond du Lac, Wisconsin, and he reported good reception. The first half of the show was at S7 with some fading. The second half was really strong at an S9 plus 10 signal, and a lot of people were reporting that. So things must have changed during that second half of that broadcast, because a lot of people reported the first half was pretty rough, but definitely got better towards the end, towards the second half. He was using his AirSpy HF Plus and then HF Plus Dual. And he was switching between two antennas, a Radio Waves 40M and a double bazooka, and a Radio Waves 20M end-fed half-wave antenna. So he's got a couple big antennas there in Fond du Lac from Wisconsin, and picking it up that well, so that's really good too. He really enjoyed Ancient Grass's segment on shortwave radio. You can definitely tell that the reception was really good for May, because there are quite a few more correspondence. We got quite a few more reception reports and communications, so which is great. I'm not going to have time to get them all on, but go ahead, send them in. I'll try to get it on, and I'll try to remember to be able to get some of the other ones from the last time. I can get them on the next time, and it'll probably help that moving to the every other week format might be a little bit easier to get some of these read on the air in the mailbag section. So continuing on off of Discord, we had Moopsy off of Discord reported a decent signal in northeast Kansas for the May 9th broadcast. So most of the signals have been pretty good, definitely listenable, because most of the reception reports are pretty detailed. Andrew from Marquette, Kansas, reports decent reception tonight on 94.55 in S5 to S9 with a little bit of fading at one point, but overall good to listen to. Located in central Kansas using a Texan PL680 with a 40-foot long wire. Next we've got Charles from Lawton, Michigan. He replied, great show, first time for me. I caught the first half using a Kenwood R600. Thanks for listening, Charles. Justin, a regular listener from Wisconsin. He'll be checking out the Beijing Hour. That was one of the other segments that I did, and Roundtable on China Radio. It says thanks for mentioning those, and thanks for mentioning the 3PO app. He's been using that for NHK Radio and others, and it's been really useful. He's been getting good reception. He's got the SINPO reception here of 55344, and that's using an MLA 30 plus with an RSP DUD. All right, and now going on to the next one. David from Temple, Texas. He had a nice signal with SINPO of 55545, and he was using a Sanjin ATS 909 X2 with a K480 WLA loop antenna. That Sengen radio, a lot of people have been using that. I've been getting that mentioned a lot in the reception reports. Terrence from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, used a C. Crane Skywave 2 to pick up the program. Jerry from Calgary, Alberta, Canada, he was using a Grundig G5 with the attached whip antenna. First-time listener, he said there was a good signal, and he has a lot of interference in his area, but still was able to pick up the program, which is usually pretty noisy, but he said it was had good clarity. Next is David, another Canadian listener from Winnipeg, Canada. He was listening, first off, his signal was extremely good. He had an SINPO of 54444, or even an all 5 at times, it sounds like. And he was using a 1937 Marconi Model 138 with the MLA30 loop antenna. And he also uses a Zenith Transoceanic 3000-1. So really nice to hear those older radios out and still being used and picking up programs and listening. That's really excellent, and that's what the hobby's all about. Next we have Richard from Saugerties, New York, in the Catskills. He had an S20 signal, and he usually has a lot of interference out there also, but he was able to pick up a good signal using a small Deshibu antenna, and again with that Sangen 909 X2 receiver. Again, those are a really popular receiver, and they seem to be all over too. You seem to be able to pick those up halfway decent on the used market, and you're able to find them sometimes even at thrift stores or garage sales or something, and really good reports on those. Also, we had Gerald from Houston, Texas, and he picked this up using a Grundig 750 with a long wire. So that's going to conclude our mailbag section for a segment for this broadcast. Remember, keep those communications coming. Send in your emails to VOSRINT@yahoo.com. That's VOSRINT@yahoo.com. Send in reception reports, comments about segments. Just try to, in the subject line, to just put a little note in there so I can separate the emails and keep them separated so I know where I can put them on future broadcasts and do shout-outs. So get those communications to us, all our new listeners on 15770 kilohertz. Send in your reception reports or your comments, and we'll try to get those on and make sure everybody gets heard on the mailbag here. Don't forget to put your location on there on your communications. That way I can add you to our listener map and put a pin in on your location with your first name, and that way you can go over to VOSR International and check out that map and see all the listeners from around the world right now who are turning into our program. So now we'll move over to a programming segment, and this one being a little different again than typical shortwave. This is listening to ham radio on your shortwave. And over here in Hawaii, they have a 40-meter net, and you can check it out. They actually have a website, and it's the number 4, the number 0, and then the word meter.net. And it has their scheduling on there, and you can check that out. And they get together quite frequently, and there's also some people who get together and talk on the net. And basically, it's where it's a time set, so people can go ahead and they log in just before time, say that they're there, and it's an organized conversation between everybody who's there at the time. And so here in Hawaii, they have an Aloha net, which is at 9 a.m. Hawaii Standard Time. And then they have the High Noon net, which of course is at noon Hawaii Standard Time. And all these are daily. And then Hawaii Afternoon net, which is 4 p.m. Hawaii Standard Time. And all these are on 7.090 for frequency. So I can get these most of the time. I can hear the conversations between everyone. Sometimes some of the ones that are on the Big Island, either their antennas are in a different direction, or maybe they just don't have enough power. And of course, it even depends on the day and the propagation. But in general, I pick up 99% of the conversations. I also can catch other nets on different frequencies from all over, from the mainland. And the nice thing about this Hawaii net, this 40-meter net, is that they actually get quite a few people from Australia. They've even had some people on sailboats that are in the area that actually hop on. So it gets really interesting. So I get definitely the different locations of the people, and I try to catch their call signs and log those. And I did the same thing with my ham operators that I ended up catching. I made a map for that with the pins in it, like I do for VOSR International listeners. So I'll end up posting that some of the places, and it'll have the call signs on there of the people that I have picked up just listening to the ham frequencies on my shortwave. So I'll put a few pictures in there, and they're from all over the world. It's kind of neat seeing all those pins and the ones that I picked up. Of course, I've gotten quite a few on the mainland in the U.S. That's where they're mostly filled up. But I've gotten them from New Zealand and a few from Australia, quite a few from Japan. It's really neat being able to check this out and listen. And they actually, they talk a lot about their equipment. It's just like shortwave radio. Everybody likes to talk about their equipment and what they're running. And then sometimes it's just casual conversation. Of course, sometimes the conversations can turn political, and or somebody could come in, and sometimes they get even a little bit heated. So I guess the most famous one for that is 7200. That one is known as a free-for-all at times. I haven't been able to catch that here in Hawaii yet. I guess it's more towards the afternoon, which would be more a little bit in the morning here, and that's typically when I'm the busiest and not on my radio as much. And even if I am, I'm usually trying to catch something else. But one of these times I'm going to try to catch that out. But I have heard some recordings on it. I've seen some videos online of 7200, and it does get crazy. So here in Hawaii, this 40-meter net is definitely more tame, and it's definitely enjoyable to listen to hear all the people and hear what's going on and what they're actually doing with their equipment, changing their equipment. Sometimes they're even selling their equipment. And if you check the website, they actually have a section in there where they're communicating through the website also by passing pictures along. They'll upload a picture and they'll talk about it. They'll talk about, they'll snap a picture of how they put their antenna up or what they changed in their radio room, and then everybody ends out talking about that. So they have one person usually that they put in charge of the net at the start. I don't know if they do a rotation and assign that, but a lot of times it's a different person. And then that person controls who's talking to, who has the mic, and then he'll pass the mic over to someone, and they'll end up trying to contact somebody else who's on the list or in the queue to come up and talk, and they'll go back and forth a little bit, and then they pass it back, and then it goes on to the next person. So that's typically how these nets work. And in this net, I've had it where there's only a couple people, and they just stay on there for a little bit. I've had it where there's 10 to 12 people, and it goes on for hours. So it's really neat. I've caught another one from the mainland U.S. It's called HHH net, Triple H net. And that one had people from all over. I want to say that the person running it was from South Carolina. At least a couple times that I caught it. But there were listeners, and there were people in that queue way over on the West Coast. They were just from all over hopping on that nets, and that was a pretty big one, so it's pretty active. I want to say that one was at 7063, but I would have to check on that for sure. It might have been 7036. But I've caught nets on both of those frequencies, so they're both pretty good ones to keep an eye out. And most of the time when I found these, I found them just by turning the dial. There are certain things for me when I'm listening to shortwave. I've mentioned before I like to catch Roundtable, and there's a few other program shows that I like to try to grab and hop on. But there's also some times where I've got a few minutes, I've got an hour or so or whatever, and I'll hop on just to turn the dial and see what I can get. Because you never know with propagation, I can get something new, or I can run onto something that is something I really like to listen to, and it's on a different frequency and a different time that I might not even known about. So I've also done some videos on these nets, and I've got those. I'll put a link over on our website at VOSR International.com. I'll put a link to those videos. I have a playlist for ham operators, so I will put the link for that playlist there. You can go over there and take a check it out, and they range from a couple minutes up to 15 minutes, depending on how interesting the conversation is. And check those out, and let us know if this is part of the hobby that you enjoy doing. Do you flip through the ham frequencies? Do you frequent them? Do you listen to them? I'm sure a lot of people that are into shortwave are also amateur radio operators. So let us know that too, if that's something that you're doing, or do you just go over there and listen? Send us an email at VOSRINT@yahoo.com. That's VOSRINT@yahoo.com. In the subject line, just put down ham operators or ham radio, so I can separate the emails, and let us know if that's something that's part of the hobby that you really enjoy listening to, other than just regular shortwave radio. The thing about these nets that's really interesting or really helpful is that you can they usually have regular times that they meet, so you can go on there and you can listen at a certain time and be ready for it. Now I did check on that Triple H net. That was at 7190 kilohertz, and the 40 meter .net here in Hawaii is at 7090 kilohertz. So you can check those out, and let us know if you're able to get them, especially the Hawaii one. I know some of those guys run a lot of power, so you'll be able to pick it up. But some of them you might not be able to. It all depends on their rigs. Some of them I barely make out, but some of them are really kicking out a lot of power, so you shouldn't have an issue. So let me know.